Hi, I'm Emily with Heartland Tree Alliance. I'm a community forestry associate, and today we're talking about a story map that I made for these lovely trees at Minor Park. So we're at Minor Park today near Shelter 1, and with Heartland Tree Alliance, we've planted a whole bunch of trees, about 55 trees throughout this trail that are considered Arboretum trees. So all of these trees we planted will be native trees or native cultivars of trees. And I made this interactive story map so that folks who want to walk along and learn more about these trees can do so with the map open on their phone. Or if you don't live in Kansas City and want to explore this, you can also open the story map and do a virtual little walkthrough. So we're going to go through kind of how to use it, what it's like, and how to love these native trees that we planted for.
So first there's a little about this walk section. This kind of tells you what the point of the walk is, that the theme is native trees. And there's some interactive hyperlinks that are within this section that you can click on if you want more information.
This is a tulip tree. These are one of my favorite trees that we plant with Heartland Tree Alliance because every part about the tree is really cool. So first, they have these leaves that are very uniquely shaped. So it's called a tulip tree because the leaf, if you turn it like this, is supposed to sort of resemble a tulip. They have really awesome flowers, which are bright. They're kind of like a yellowish orange, and they're cup shaped, and they're like literally as big as the palm of my hand. We'll put a picture right there. But in the springtime, they have beautiful flowers. The flowers then in the fall turn into these really cool seeds that kind of break apart, you know, like the helicopters or the samaras that come off maple trees. They kind of look like skinny versions of that, and they'll break apart and fall off in the fall. The bark is pretty cool. It's really smooth and gray, and it's pretty soft wood too. If you ever are pruning or cut into the wood, it's pretty soft wood. And my favorite part is the roots, which obviously you can't see right now, but when we're planting these trees when they're little babies, their roots smell like pine sol, but like in the best way. They smell citrusy, piney. They have some sort of secondary defense chemicals which make them smell like that, but pretty much every part of this tree is super cool. They're great shade trees. As you can see, this tree is not super old, but it's providing a lot of shade even from right here. In front of me, we have a white fringe tree. So this is one of our trees that's at Minor Park. But I wanted to make a little PSA about this tree, and that is that we should not be planting it anymore because within the last couple years, scientists have found out that this fringe tree is actually a secondary host for the emerald ash borer. So the emerald ash borer is a pest that has killed a lot of our ash trees all over the country, but primarily started in the Midwest. And so the insects, when there's not ash trees to feed on, they will come and feed on this fringe tree and then continue their life cycle and move on to ashes. So we don't encourage people to plant more of these fringe trees, although they are beautiful and make some really cool flowers and have unique fruits. We will not be planting any more of these because of that.
Our next section is the history of Minor Park, and so this is just a little bit of information about what the park used to be and kind of how it's used now.
Behind me, we have an Ohio buckeye, and this is starting to get some little fruits on it too. So the Ohio buckeye has these really cool palmate leaves. So if you spread your fingers out, it kind of looks like that's what these leaves look like. But it also produces these really cool fruits, and the reason it's called a buckeye is because when you open the shell of these fruits, it's said that the nut itself kind of looks like the eye of a buck of a deer. And indigenous peoples also used to carry buckeyes in their pocket as a good luck symbol.
Then we have this directions section. So this tells you where is the best place to start the tree walk, which is at Shelter 1. And there's 2 hyperlinks for directions directly to Apple Maps and Google Maps, so you can get there easy peasy.
Here we have a little baby black gum tree, and black gums are native to Missouri, but they are not to be confused with sweet gum. So sweet gums were planted a lot in Kansas City around the 50s and 60s. They kind of line some of the boulevards. They have those spiky balls that are really kind of annoying in the fall when they drop, and so they get kind of a bad rap. This is not related whatsoever to the sweet gums. It's called a black gum, or sometimes it's also referred to as a black tupelo, but it has these leaves that kind of are green, but when they first come out, they can be kind of a red color, and they turn a beautiful reddish orange in the fall. So these are a great thing to plant in your yard if you need a little bit of shade. They don't really have much messy fruits or anything like that, but they're beautiful kind of all year round.
Next is the tree walk section itself. So each tree has a point on the map with information about the species, about its natural history, and things like the height and the crown spread. So if you click on the scientific name of each species, it'll take you to a hyperlink that'll tell more information about the species itself. I've also included some photos. Most of them are taken directly from Minor Park, and that little dot in the corner has information on who took the photo, most of them being internal from HTA members. But yeah, you can just scroll through the map. There's about 50 trees on the map. Each has a little different blurb about, again, the natural history, photos of the tree. So feel free to scroll through that. If you're looking for a specific tree, you can scroll around the map and just click on that and continue the walk from where you are at that point. Once you reach the last tree, you'll see there's resources about volunteering with Heartland Tree Alliance to plant more trees like we did here at Minor Park, and more information about bridging the gap as a whole. Thanks for coming on this tree walk.